Stupid people should wear signs, neon bright, so we can find a way to dodge their tangled mess, avoid their chaos more, say less. Wear a sign, wear a sign. Save me from your twisted line. Wear a sign, wear a sign. Nada, nada, don't waste your time. Politicians dance and spin, blatant lies with a practiced grin. Blame the moon, blame the stars, blame the traffic or faulty cars. You think they're 6, not 35, playing games to stay alive. Wear a sign, wear a sign. Save me from your twisted line. Wear a sign, wear a sign. Nada, nada, don't waste your time. Celebrities with tails so tall, lost my yacht, it's so small. It's hard being rich, don't you see? You're living in your fantasy.
Hey folks, welcome back. Good evening. Sunday night. Hey Dogzilla, how's it going, man? How you doing? Been a while there. Welcome back. Good evening. Sounds good. I don't know how long this will work, how stable this will be, but Comcast Xfinity, just such a nightmare here. Been all around. Speeds down to 5 megabytes per second. That's about the minimum, and I see it's jerky already. So I don't know how long we can do this tonight. My apologies in advance. I don't know what to do. I filed a complaint with the Federal Communications Commission. Just finished. That's why I was a few minutes late for the stream. I've had enough of this. This is just ridiculous. Either they're throttling the broadcast or there's something wrong with their service and they're not providing service. I want my money back. I want my service I'm paying for. This is getting really ridiculous. Yeah, it's not even viewable. It's ridiculous. So my apologies. The best I can do. Seattle is 3 hours behind me, so it's 7:10 there. 7:10 out in Seattle. So I don't even have... Oh, wow. Look at this. Finally, Suno came up. Suno has been down. I've been trying to get into that. The internet's just been crap tonight for so many different reasons. Using voice. What? Persona. Okay, now it's something new I got to do. Anyway, I'm trying to make a song here for ages. I want to see how it came out. Let me try this now, okay? I'm going to try this song, okay? Okay. See how this comes out, guys. Yeah, I've been trying this for a few hours now. It's really frustrating. Suno just went down. I don't know what the hell was going on with it. So it's been down for hours now. Driving me nuts. Okay, let me... now I gotta look and see what I had here. Dance pop. That's what I want. I want that portion right there. We'll see. So I've been trying to make this song forever, and Suno, I've been trying to get it for an hour and a half. I've been trying to get into Suno. It's driving me just really crazy. Where is advanced options? Vocal generator, female. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, so that should do it. Let's see what happens. Okay. See if it'll even generate the song. It's been acting up. Okay, now it's going to do it. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so yeah. PE fires, yeah, no, it's yeah, I talked about PE fires earlier. Also, somebody reported, gave it up to me there. Appreciate that information. So I'm gonna do it in Afrikaans. You guys tell me how bad it is, okay? Yep, and then I will do it in. I'm looking at FiOS as an alternative, but lots of complaints about FiOS too. So the top story that I want to talk about tonight, between the jerkiness of the computer, is excuse me, is South Africa and Iran an axis of evil? Is that what the ANC wants, an axis of evil? I mean, that seems to be what they're up to here. Meantime, I'm trying to download these songs. It may not play very well if we've got jerkiness on the stream, so apologies for that. We had some interesting stuff going on earlier today with, even despite the choppiness, I had a lovely interview with some folks. Where the heck is, there we go, that's what I'm looking for here. Let me see how many views we had on that fascinating interview we had earlier today. So that interview had, let me see, 8,700 views on it so far. 9,000 views, okay. Yep, 9,000 views so far, so that's pretty good. Appreciate that. 43 comments. I haven't even read the comments on there. I hope there's no nasty ones. There were some nasty comments. Interesting to me. Okay, okay. Okay, all nice so far. Cricket fans. Okay. Okay, I'm just looking here. Striking. Ah, boy. Sorry, folks. It's only 5 comments, 6,000 views. Yeah, it was 8,000 now. Okay, sorry about that. 9,000 so far for late night Sunday interview during the holidays. Not bad. Oh, I think so, Dirk. I think you're right. I think you're right. It was a heck of an interview. I enjoyed it. I hope it came across evenly. Monterey Seabrits. Oh my goodness, man. Glad to see you there. Okay, how will President Trump react to all the Iranian warships, Cape Town? Yeah, I don't know. That's going to go so well for South Africa. Don't think that's a very good move on the part of the ANC, to say the least. Yeah. Okay, let's see if this came out okay. Suno. Okay, guys, here we go. So this is Iran to Iran, okay? Let's see how it sounds. In Afrikaans, you tell me if it's terrible or not.
ou verdrukking en gee dit 'n nuwe naam. Ander spelers aan die top, maar die spel is net so skaam. Patronasie en armoede versprei soos 'n virusgrip. Terwyl 'n landskap met tiranne.
Nobody's saying anything about song.
Stagnasie in die water, korrupsie in die wind. Hulle mors die goeie erfenis wat ons nie weer sal vind. Hulle soek nie die stars and stripes. Hulle soek die rassies rooi. En gooi die skuld op Trump terwyl die land in as lê en skrooi. Die veld word nou al donkerder, die drome sy die moede. Hulle verpansel ons toekoms vir totalitaire gorde. En hulle hardloop, hardloop, hardloop na Teheran. Draai al rug op die weste vir 'n ander plan. Van die Kaap na die Kremlin, Beijing na Havana. Terwyl al Ubuntu skree soos 'n heilige Hosanna. Hulle hardloop, hardloop, hardloop na Teheran. Boure met die spoke in die woestyn se sand. Oorlogskepe in die hawe, skadies op die kaai. Die ANC is besig terwyl die wêreld vinnig draai. Hulle hou van die eystervuis, die partylyn so streng. Terwyl hulle ons na die bouwvalle van die tempel bring. Drome bou op. Hulle hardloop nou al die pad na Teheran. Saam op die bandwagon. Tot ziens aan die reënboog. Ons hardloop al die pad na Teheran.
All right, so that was all right. Okay, what I'm going to do now is a second version of it. See if this is better, okay? Tell me if this is better. It's a shorter one. I don't hate it. There's a ringing endorsement. I don't hate it. I'll do a country version afterwards. It's like a Kurt Darren song to me. It's what it sounded like. Kalfoot Soki there.
Apriloggend nooit voor, die son begin te reis. Ek sien die hoop van 'n nasie in hul oë gewys. God was in die toue, 12 uur in die hitte. Net om 'n droom te stem, verby die ou verbitte. Die wêreld sing saam met ons, die hulp het ingestroom. Die springbokke lig die beker, ons leef die grootste droom. Die salades was goue dae, die toekoms blink en skoon. Ons het gedans in die lig waar die reënboognasie woon. Maar die veld word nou al kouer, die belofte raak maar dun. Ons verruil ons vryheid nog voor ons kon begin. En hulle hardloop, hardloop, hardloop na Teheran. Draai hul rug op die weste vir 'n ander plan. Van die Kaap na die Kremlin, Beijing na Havana. Terwyl al Ubuntu skree soos 'n heilige Hosanna. Ja, hulle hardloop, hardloop, hardloop na Teheran. Beproud met die spoke in die woestyn se sand. Hulle neem die ou verdrukking en gee dit 'n nuwe naam. Aan 'n spelers aan die top, maar die spel is net so skaam. Patronasie en armoede versprei soos 'n virus griep. Terwyl hul hand skot met tiranne lê die skuldgevoel nie. Diep stagnasie in die water, korrupsie in die wind. Hulle mors die goeie erfenis wat ons nie weer sal vind. Hulle soek nie die stars en stripes. Hulle soek die rassies rooi en gooi die skuld op Trump terwyl die land in is lê en skrooi. Die veld word nou al donkerder, sky. Die ANC is besig terwyl die wêreld vinnig draai. Hulle hou van die eysterfees, die partylyn so streng, terwyl hulle ons na die bouvalle van die tempel bring. Hulle waap al die pad na Teheran, saam op die bandwagon, tot sins aan die reënboog, met spookachtige ster. Ons hart loop al die pad na Teheran.
All right, second one definitely. So I figured it was clear. Yeah, I thought the second one was a lot better too. First one was better, but they don't take my word for it. Send it, Steve. Okay, somebody likes that one better. All right, well, I decided to make it into a country song so we can all understand it. Country goes a bit slower. A little bit of singing a bit slower. Dogzilla, you had a question about folks. What's going on there? Question? You want to know if black folks qualify? Well, some black folks do qualify for the refugee program, as you can see. As you can see, we had some black folks come over. That's what was the power of that interview. Very exciting stuff. Anyway, yeah, so let me check on something here really quick while I wait for that song to come up. Okay, it's taking a little while here. Let's see if it's ready now. Yeah, hearing lyrics usually helps a lot. It's supposed to be a country cross pop over. Country pop crossover. Sounds like a rock song to me. This is not very country to me.
April morning 94, the sun began to rise. I saw the hope of a nation reflected in their eyes. Go-go standing in the queue, 12 hours in the heat, just to cast a paper dream and make the change complete. The world was singing with us, the aid was pouring in, the Springboks took the trophy, we thought we'd finally win. The salad days were golden, the future burning bright, we were dancing in the glow of the Rainbow Nation light.
But the veldt is growing colder now, the promise started thinning, we traded in our liberty before we finished winning.
And they ran to Tehran, turned their backs on the West for a different plan.
From the Cape to the Kremlin, Beijing to Havana, while they're screaming out Ubuntu like a holy Hosanna.
They ran to Tehran, building bridges with the ghosts in the desert sand.
So that's pretty good in English.
They took the old oppression and they gave it a new name. Different players at the top, but it's the exact same game. Patronage and poverty spreading like a flu, while they're shaking hands with tyrants. What's a citizen to do? Stagnation in the water, corruption in the air. They squandered all the shadows on the dock. The ANC is moving while the world is in a shock. They love the iron fist, they love the party line, leaving us behind in the ruins of the shrine. They ran.
That's pretty good. I like that as long as 5 minutes. I don't know if that's the family you're talking about, but that's definitely a family with adopted black children. Here we go. Here's the second version of the country pop crossover. I like that first one. It sounds like something from Morocco.
The sun began to rise. I saw the hope of a nation reflected in their eyes. Go standing in the queue, 12 hours in the heat, just to cast a paper dream and make the change complete.
The world was singing with us, the aid was pouring in. The Springboks took the trophy, we thought we'd finally win. The salad days were golden, the future burning bright. We were dancing in the glow of the Rainbow Nation light.
But the veil is growing colder.
I like the first one better.
Now the promise started thinning. We traded in our liberty before we'd finish winning. And they ran to tear and turned their backs on the West for a different plan. From the Cape to the Kremlin, Beijing to Havana, while they're screaming out Ubuntu like a holy Hosanna. Yeah, they ran to tear and building bridges with the ghosts in the desert sand.
Letting you out, hey,
They took the old oppression and they gave it a new name. Different players at the top, but it's
the exact same game. Patronage and poverty spreading like a flu, while they're shaking hands with tyrants. What's a citizen to do? Stagnation in the water, corruption in the air. They squandered all the goodness and they didn't even care.
Yeah, third version's
the
best.
stars and stripes when you've got the Russian red. They'd rather blame the orange man for all the tears we've shed.
The veil is growing darker now, the dream is out of fashion. They traded in our future
this
for
one's not very
a
good.
totalitarian passion. And they ran to tan.
Yeah, I think the country version, the third song, the second and third are the best. The first one, couldn't understand all the Afrikaans lyrics. The second one was good. The third one was best, and the last one was kind of sucky. 1 and 4 sucked. First English version, yeah. Cool beans. All right, we got an Afrikaans version, and we got that one. So I'll post about the president saying that they're at war with the U.S. Who? Iran? Those guys are idiots. They would say that. Doesn't surprise me. Anyway, that's one I worked on earlier when I was fighting with my internet connections here. So anyway, I'm still fighting with it. You already like that one, Boca. Guys, so hey, LD USA, welcome. No, they're not the same family, okay. Yeah, and I look at Dirk and said, if a middle finger could ever be sung, then this is it. It could be a song. I hope the NC's listening. Yep. Yeah, I will post number 2 and number 3. Number 2 and number 3, I'll get them out. Yeah, but I've got to load some stuff up. I'll do that tonight. So I'm hopefully I can stumble through with this internet for a few more days. It's very frustrating. I've got an interview coming up on Tuesday with Dr. Peter Hammond, and then we've got an interview with a refugee on Thursday, and I'm working on something on Friday. Yeah. Wrong song, huh? Yeah, it's amazing how AI can take my lyrics and translate them in Afrikaans where it fits colloquially. It actually changed it around a little bit, so it's not word for word, it's not verbatim, which is the way an interpretation is supposed to be. Anyway, so yeah, so Chat GPT Pro and Suno rocks. I'm not using Chat GPT. No, I don't use Chat GPT. I have been using Chat GPT for image generation because they ruined, Gemini's been ruined again. Gemini was the best at generating images, and then they changed the engine, and instead of giving you landscape, it only gave you portrait or block ones, and I can't use that for thumbnail. It's the wrong size. Then they updated the engine, and it went back to it. It was the best ever. Then it went back to the same crap in the latest version, so I have to use Chat GPT imagery. Email it screenshots. Okay, Jackie, hang on. Well, I've got recently. Okay, Jackie, I don't have you listed in my phone. Oh, you sent me email, sorry. Email, hang on, sorry. I haven't been to my email since earlier today. Email. Okay, Gmail, here we go. Let's see, screenshots. Wow, a lot of email came in today. Okay, someone else told me that they are married to a foreign national and they got approved. Okay, so I'm looking for something from, who sent that now? It was Jackie, when it was Kane. Let me look for Kane. Okay, there we go. Oh, that person again. Talking about me or no? Jiminy crickets. That person's really demonic. Let's see if they're talking about me. If you're going to undertake something that's important, at least find facts for yourself. Getting assistance. So-called YouTuber personality has been giving the right facts for 8 months now. This YouTuber is actually a good person, but sadly his ego is too big, and this is not my opinion alone. Lots of people love him, but a lot also feel that he's insensitive in some cases and speaks before he has info enough. Really? Well, that's your people's opinion. They're welcome to their opinion. They're welcome to their opinion. They're not on this end dealing with all the horsemanure that comes my way, so... A certain YouTube personality is belittling and berating a South African that is put in detention in Georgia for coming on a visitor's visa and asking for asylum in the airport. He's milking for all it's worth, but the truth is, this experience I've seen before 6 years ago when a South African had bad information, was how to ask for asylum, was told to do it at the airport. He was immediately put in detention and then processed asylum case, given incredible fear review, and 3 months he was released. Did not do anything illegal. He's not being prosecuted. He is the victim of not having the right information about the law. Again, well, okay, she can say that, again, and for people who think I'm insensitive, you can go pound sand up your rectum. I really don't care. If people have the inability to listen to what I say, that's their shortcoming, not mine. I was more than generous in that. I simply stated what's in the New York Times story. And in the New York Times story, that does not meet the standard for asylum. It also doesn't meet the standard for refugee. Also, it seems incredulous that a 59-year-old man who heard 5 months prior that the president was offering a refugee program would find it wise to jump on a plane and claim asylum. That's not how the program is run. How can 100,000 other people find the website and find out what the process is, and tens of thousands of them put in a PRM email, a statement of interest, and ask to join the program? That's what I said. And if that person wants to keep talking about me, that's fine. That seems to be her hobby. She gets her jollies that way. And if it hurts people's feelings that I don't have empathy for someone who's trying to break our immigration laws, well, I'm not sorry. That's your shortcoming, not mine. And if you feel that I'm insensitive, then watch something else. My goodness. Whining. I'll tell you, it's incredible. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, thank you for the screenshot for that, Jackie. I mean, whatever. It's been 10 months, and I've been correct about this, and these people just keep trying to take me down. Yeah, they get their jollies, you know. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, okay, so, again, watch the video. Watch what I said. What I said in the video is that I have little empathy for him, and I don't. I don't have empathy. I follow the immigration laws of every country I enter. Every single one. I've lived in 16 countries. I follow their laws. It's simple. You follow the law. I don't want to hear someone got bad advice. It's implausible. If this had happened in January, it's plausible. Someone gave the guy bad advice. He came over here. And she actually confirms what I said. He's in detention. Yes, it is LDUSA. That's where he committed an act of fraud. He lied to get a visa to come here, knowing full well he had no intention to come here as a tourist. He came here intending to seek asylum. Had he gone to the U.S. consulate and said, I wish to come to America to claim asylum, they would have said, you can't do that. But you know what? We have a refugee program. Why don't you go fill out the intake questionnaire and then you can come over that way? That's what would have happened. That's what would have happened. But I'm insensitive because I state the facts. I'm mean. Are we talking about boer or pansies? What are we talking about here? I got to tell you, man, after 40 years of knowing Afrikaners and South Africans and Boers, I always thought they were pretty hardy people. But I'll tell you what, the belly aching whine about the mean colonel. Oh, he's so mean and sensitive. Oh, my goodness. It's terrible. Oh, Dogzilla, stop it. You're going to get a timeout. I just answered. Are you, okay. I'm going to clean the wax out. Dogzilla, I just explained that. So, see, this is why I'm insensitive, because I just explained it, and then someone writes the same stupid crap in the chat. I'll explain it again. Maybe Dogzilla was typing as I was explaining. When you commit visa fraud, you've committed fraud. When you walk up to a consular officer in Frankfurt or in London or in Edinburgh, I think we have a consulate there, or in Durban or Cape Town and say, I'd like to come to U.S., okay? Have you got a return ticket? Yes, here's my return ticket. Okay. What's your purpose? I'm going to the United States on tour. I'm going to visit Disneyland. I'm going to go to Stone Mountain. I'm going to visit, the Georgia Peaches and watch a Georgia Bulldogs game. Okay. All right. 90 days. Welcome. Enjoy your trip to America. That's fraud. That's fraud. That was not his intention. He admitted he committed fraud. In the New York Times story, he admitted he committed fraud. And we're supposed to just look the other way? Okay, all right, you got bad advice, so just come on in. No, the law is when you enter at a port of entry and you seek asylum, you must be put in detention while they begin to investigate your case. That's the law. The Biden regime ignored that law for 4 years, mostly. So people came to expect you could just wander in the country. Okay, let's put this in the other foot here. For all the people who think I'm so evil and so insensitive, I have such an ego. Really? I have an ego because you can't listen? Wow. Okay, so let's put this in context. So we should just, anybody wants to show up and get a visa in Nepal, in the Marshall Islands, well, that's not a good example. That's U.S. territory. In Nepal, in Vanuatu, in Fiji, in New Zealand, in South Africa, in Zimbabwe. Just, go get a tourist visa. Just come on over here. Oh, I want asylum. We should just let you in the country? Anybody who gets on a plane could just claim asylum? No. No. It's not just the Afrikaner community, Derek. It's other people. And they spew this all over. I've got this other one here earlier. Where's the screenshot this guy sent me earlier? I can't remember. I get so many messages here. Someone sent me a message earlier about someone complaining about me on this, that South African pilot who joined our Air Force, complaining on there about me. Who was it that sent me this? I'm trying to see who it was. Oh, did she write some stuff? Oh yeah, Chris sent me that too. Someone said, I nearly did that back in February when President Trump made the executive order. Then I found out the difference between refugee and asylum. Yeah, probably by listening to me and people like Professor G. A person who criticized fellow South African like that is a poor character and poorly educated. Really? Yeah, I'm living rent-free in that person's head, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah. So that's not who sent it to me. Someone else sent it to me. I'm trying to find it. Okay. Anyway, I can't find it. It's not important. But somebody sent me, it was in Offer Comms, and it was comical. They basically said that so-called colonel or something like that. It's funny. He came in on his illegal tourist visa, then asked about asylum later. No. First off, he's not in prison, Dogzilla. He's in a detention center. Yes, I know they seem like the same thing, but he's in detention. He's not in jail. He's not a prisoner. He's in detention, which is where we're supposed to put people, because that's the law. That is the law, Dogzilla. When you arrive at a port of entry and you declare asylum there, you are circumventing the system. Therefore, we have an obligation legally as a nation. Why don't people read the Immigration Nationality Act? Why don't they learn immigration law? It's simple. I've read it. It's not that hard. You don't have to be a lawyer to understand it. If you enter that way, you're supposed to be detained because we don't know who you are. Now, if we have allowed you to enter this country legally and you're here and during the course of your visit, either attending university or while working here with authority to work here or a green card, permanent residency, or you're here on a tourist visa, you're here on a legitimate reason, or as a businessman coming over, and then something happens at home that puts you at risk and you seek asylum, that's what the system is set up for. He entered illegally and is a source of embarrassment. Yes, exactly. Month of silence means we'll have to wait patiently. Well, Vimpy Kuhn, I appreciate where you're coming from, but I mean, I can't move the process along any faster for anybody. I wish I could. Oh, yeah, no, there's a lot of troll bots. That's why I don't lose a lot of sleep over it, but I do find honey. But that person is definitely not a paid bot. She's just got some kind of issue. Yeah, certain YouTube personality. I'm not a YouTube personality. I'm a historian, political scientist, counterintelligence agent, a retired colonel. Still a colonel, though. So anyway. If he wins this case, would that open floodgates? Well, it could, but the base... Okay, so again, if people would listen to what I say, I'm not talking about audience right here, but people would listen to what I actually say. This is what I actually said. Based on the information in the New York Times story, he does not have a legitimate case. I have also said that I'm willing to accept that the New York Times, which has a narrative that they want to push, just like CNN, might be giving us part of the story and lying, as is Mr. Rosenbluth, his attorney, misleading us. Because the information they provided does not justify asylum or refugee status. If you came to me as a USCIS agent, which I'm fully qualified to be, but if I was USCIS agent hearing your case, and you told me in 2014, it's 2025, almost 2020, in 2014, I was attacked by two black men on my farm who tied me up, threatened to kill me, and then looted my farm. I suffer trauma to this day and have PTSD as a consequence. I would say that's horrible. I feel truly bad for you. Why are you here? Well, for refugee status. Yeah, but you haven't told me anything that qualifies for refugee. There's nothing here that says you're being persecuted based on your race, your religion, your sexual orientation, your membership in a political group, or your language. Nothing. How are you being persecuted based on any of these things? None of those apply here. You're a victim of crime. You're a victim of crime. That's not a justification. Ask the people who've sent me questions, Chris, can you answer this question? Can you answer this question? And then I say, listen, you've told me horrible things, and I have a lot of empathy for you. No one should live through that. But that will not get you here. That is not satisfactory for coming to the States. It's as simple as that. Let's say a big, scary EFF man sang a song, and I'm scared. Would that work? Well, it depends. If you find a sucker who's a refugee agent, maybe. I wouldn't. If you ever told me that you lived in a certain part of the Free State and you were worried you're going to be murdered as a farmer because they scrawled the blood of a guy 5 miles down the road, 10 kilometers away, on the wall when they murdered his family, and it said kill the Boer after Julius Malema sang that the previous weekend, I'd be like, okay, that sounds credible. What I mean is, yes, the silence is not nice, but going over and claiming silence. Oh, yeah, no, I got you, Vimpy. No. Okay, I didn't understand your point. Yeah, I got you. Charged with holding the line. Trump has made a legal and generous way to come. Yep. For someone who didn't know the system worked, he certainly knew he should buy a return ticket. Exactly. That's the whole thing. You wouldn't have got a visa without a return ticket. It wasn't a green card. It wasn't a long-term work visa. It wasn't an H-1B visa. It was a tourist visa. With a tourist visa, you must have a return ticket. It's as simple as that. I never go to South Africa without a return ticket. Never done it. Always have a return ticket. I have no intention of settling in South Africa. But that's not government person. No. See, no. Why do I? No. Okay, for those haters that are listening and think I have a big ego, listen. You don't have to be persecuted by the government. The Jews slaughtered in pogroms in Belarus and Russia and Ukraine in the 19th century weren't slaughtered by the government. They were slaughtered by racist and anti-Semite bigots who hated Jews, who rose up in groups and ran around and slaughtered Jews. Pogroms. Tens and hundreds of thousands of Jews slaughtered over the course of a century. That's persecution. It doesn't have to be government persecution. That's the thing. That's why every time ANC says, well, the government's not persecuting anybody, it isn't germane. But in this case, the government is persecuting people, but it isn't germane. You don't have to be persecuted by the government. You can be persecuted by a group. Tourist visa back in the day when we were interviewed by U.S. officials might have changed. What might have changed, Roberto? So when will we in Nigeria get a refugee program? What are you talking about? Pull up the executive order. For what? I don't need to pull up an executive order. I'm talking about the law. The executive order doesn't trump the law. The law is the law. Carlos says, you always minus the actions have consequence, Colonel. He made the decision to commit fraud and analysis. Exactly. And everybody keeps arguing that I'm mean to an Afrikaner and I'm hateful to South Africans because I'm attacking this guy. I'm not attacking him. He committed fraud. He said so. According to his own statements, he's hoisted on his own petard in the New York Times article. I've saved it. So people can try to change the story all they want. But in the story, he admits that he heard the president say that we're welcome to come over. We've been offered refugee status. So I got in a plane. My friend said I should come over. I came over and I declared asylum. That is not a refugee program. He admitted. He bought a return ticket. Falsely, you don't go, if you go to our consulate in Durban, Cape Town, or Joburg, or Pretoria, and you apply for a visa to come to America as a tourist, not as a businessman, not as a student, but as a tourist, and they ask you for your ticket. One way, Atlanta. One way. Where's your return ticket? He wouldn't have got a visa. He had to have a return ticket. The mere fact that he purchased a return ticket indicates that his intention was to commit fraud. Yeah, I don't understand what the question at Wido is asking, the Rohan. There are DRC, there are Afghans, there are Ukrainians, all kinds of refugees all over the place. Okay, Roberta Wilkie, not explaining yourself. I know you're talking about visas for South Africa. You said a long time ago when you didn't say what? You what? You weren't asked for a return ticket? You weren't asked for a ticket? Tourist visa. Okay, you're going to be just fine, Hasigi. Okay, what happened to Hasigi? Maybe if he stayed for 3 months without a word and then hired an attorney. No, he might not be in detention. See, that's different. That's different. If he'd entered the country and went about his business and then later tried to seek an attorney to get asylum, he probably wouldn't be in detention. The law doesn't force us to put people who are in the country in detention if they're in the country legally and then seek asylum. But either way, they're not going to stay here. Not with that story. Okay, what is Hasigi saying here? Why is she freaking out here? I got to go find this. How did I miss her comment? I don't see her comment. Could somebody tell me what she said? I'm going way back. I don't see any comment from her. I hate when this happens. I can't find comments. Okay, I don't see any comment from her. It's hard when I'm going through dozens of comments. Could somebody tell me what she said and what she's concerned about here? Yeah, we have no confirmed case of anyone being denied except Woza. What's up, Woza? What do you mean, Roberto? Dude, you're writing stuff I don't make any sense. All I'm saying is he would have lied. Oh, gotcha. Okay, but that's not what you said, man. That's not what you said, Roberto Wilco. That's not what you said. That's not what you said. You said visa for South Africans to go to America. Okay, and before that, you said, what did I miss? I don't understand that. Okay. So, yeah, that's not what you're saying. Okay. Was she interviewed? Kasigi, have you been interviewed? Yeah, please copy and paste your comment again. This time the moderators will allow it. I can't see your comment. No, Dogzilla. He'll get his case heard eventually. He'll be released from detention in either self-deport or he'll be allowed to stay, which I think is unlikely. Okay, well, again, I have told people for months, have I not? Tell me I'm wrong. Of course, this is where I'm accused of having an ego and all this other bullshit by people. Have I not told people for months that being a victim of crime is not a sufficient basis for a refugee status? It's not. If it were, then we could just go to the Cape Flats and round up all the coloreds and load them on a plane and fly them over here. They're almost all victims of crime. I've told people that for months. If you've been watching this program, you've heard me say it. Long before most of you ever had any interviews or ever been called in. If you've done the intake questionnaire, if you haven't been interviewed, then don't worry about it. You need to explain to people why you've been attacked based on your race, or why you've been denied based on your race, or why you've been cheated based on your race, or how you've been mistreated or attacked in the streets or insulted in the streets based on your race. Or if it's another reason. I mean, the family had on today had been insulted and attacked and threatened because they have black children. They adopted black kids, accused of committing genocide against black folks. Okay, why are you stressing though? Why are you stressing? I've been saying the same thing for 10 months. There's nothing new here that I'm saying. Why are you stressing all of a sudden? I doubt that you have anything to stress about, okay? Stop getting yourself worked up, okay? There's no reason for it. And thank you for posting the comment again. I couldn't find it. I kept looking. I mean, your stuff jumps out. You're one of the top commenters. Yeah, but I'm sure they saw that. I'm sure you. I think when you had the interview, we talked about this, and I said that they're gonna see that. I wouldn't be surprised if they're confused or uncertain if they contact you back and ask you to talk to them again. That's a possibility. Kyle Watkins gave 70 Rand super sticker. Thank you for that, Kyle. I think the alert thing is off. No, the alert box is on. Thank you for the 70 Rand, Kyle. Appreciate that. Yes, you're rushed and stressed. Well, that's because, and that's another thing. That's one reason I'm very upset with the program, is because these idiots are sending people places, so far away. We've talked to people who live in Cape Town that were forced to fly to Joburg for their flight. Now, that might have had something to do with the way the flights are booked. It probably did, because they had to fly through Newark to get to where they're going. That's possibly what happened there. But anyway, Khashoggi, relax. It's going to be okay, okay? Exactly. You've got this. It's going to be fine, okay? People, stop freaking out, okay? Anyway, yeah. So, anyway, it's just, again, the guy, I mean, please listen to instead of freaking out, watch my video and see what I said, okay? Let's see what I said. Kenyans, South Africa on visitor's visa, but they were working in South Africa. Then you say the News 24 is lying. They're in the country legally. The asylum seekers said, no. No, you're not. No. See, you're hearing what you want to hear. You're hearing what you want to hear. See, this is the problem, Jolis. We're not fighting. I'm not fighting with you, but you are hearing what you want to hear. That is not what I said. Not what I said. The Kenyans were in South Africa on visitor's visa. Correct. But they were working in South Africa. Yes, that's also correct. I mean, I'll accept that they were working. I don't think they're really volunteering, so we'll say they're working. Then you were saying News 24 is lying. Yes, News 24 lied, said they were in the country illegally. They weren't in the country illegally. They entered the country legally. See, you're not paying attention. I've said this repeatedly. They've run this narrative around on social media, and the media also said that they entered from Botswana and Mozambique and Swaziland and came into the country illegally. That's not true. Every one of the Kenyans entered the country legally with a visa. They did. They didn't have a work permit. That's a different story. And I'm not denying that they were working illegally. Never said that. Never claimed that. Never claimed it. You're hearing what you want to hear. There's a difference. Entering the country legally and then taking up residence is illegal. Entering the country legally and then taking up work is illegal without a work permit. So News 24 lied. The asylum seeker is not the same. He fraudulently obtained a visa. The Kenyans, are you trying to say that the Kenyans obtained the visa fraudulently? Is that your point? Maybe that's your point. Maybe you're trying to say that Kenyans had the full intention of working and they came in on a tourist visa and they were fraudulent. Is that your point? But that's not what you said. I'm just trying to divine what you're saying here. If you're saying that, you could have a valid point. But I think that that's not valid, because I know for a fact, that the U.S. government had applied for work visas for them through RSA. I also know that the government of South Africa has given work visas to RSA employees from Kenya in the past. In fact, we talked to one. Josh Mersevi was on the program a week ago Friday, an American who worked for RSA in Kenya. He was employed in RSA by RSA in Kenya, and he was sent to South Africa and was given a work visa to work there to process refugees. But then the South African government denied it. So there's a lot more here to this than is being discussed or being brought up in the chat. Okay, Joe, see, you need to calm down. You're stressed, I'll ask us to fly from Cape Town, no funds to do that. Well, that's not really germane, is it? I might grow horns and wings and fly tomorrow. That's ludicrous. Stop stressing. If you get told to fly from Cape Town, then you can panic. But in the meantime, find a way to squirrel away a little bit of money. Save a little money here, save a little money there. You're getting rid of things you don't need already, right? I don't understand why people are freaking out about stuff that hasn't happened. Okay? That's a whole other point, Roberto. Welcome. Millions of people working illegally, and on geloof de dag, they target me. See, I don't even know why people have this conversation. This was done intentionally to insult the United States and provoke the United States. That's what it was done for. And to give the middle finger to Afrikaners and Boers. It was done on geloof de dag, the day of unity. The president's out talking an audience of all black people, one white person, all black people, one white person, and Tiny Pat, about Ubuntu and unity and Rainbow Nation. Where's the rainbow at? All the colors are missing from the kaleidoscope. You got one colored, one white. The rest is a sea of black. And you've got your silly impies marching here as if they were victorious at the Battle of Blood River. They got their hat handed to them. Have a little humility. He's doing that, and you've got off-duty, overtime, holiday, public holiday, home affairs agents raiding a disclosed site that the U.S. government told the South African government about. They told them the Kenyans were there. They applied for work visas for the Kenyans. They entered legally. They applied for work visas. The work visas were denied. They appealed it. The appeal was sent to South Africa's High Commission in Kenya. How in the world is it supposed to get to Kenyans in South Africa? It was intentionally sent all the way across the continent so they wouldn't have the final decision and know that they've been rejected and that they couldn't work anymore. This is not rocket science. This is not an ego. This is not factual distortion. This is not fake news. These are the facts. People choose to hear what they want to hear. The bottom line is this. The U.S. government, in good faith, asked the South African government permission to let RSC agents come from Kenya to help process South African refugees. In the past, up until very recently, South Africa's granted work permits to RSC employees to come from Kenya to process Somalis, Congolese, Central Africans to go to America on the refugee program. They have no problem with it. And we have evidence. We have a testimony of a witness who did that, Josh Bersevany, a white guy who did it. Okay? They gave him a work permit to come from Kenya to do that. The site was also disclosed to the South African government. They know where these sites are because we have security concerns. They chose to intentionally raid this on a public holiday. They chose to send the final notice of rejection for the work request to Kenya, not to the Kenyans in South Africa, who they knew who they were, or to the American embassy. And all it would have taken was a phone call. Hello, can I talk to the charge d'affaires? This is Leon Schreiber. We have reviewed the case, and we're not going to grant the work permits to Kenyans. We know that they're here. They enter the country legally on tourist visas. We also know that you have them working while you were appealing this case. We've now denied it. We will send you the paperwork. Please cease and desist and send them home. That's what should have been done. That is not the same as Mr. Schoonwinkel listening to his friend in Arkansas and getting on a plane and lying to the immigration officer, the consular officer at the consulate in South Africa and saying, oh, yes, I'm going on vacation. Here's my return ticket. Not the same thing. Not even remotely the same thing. And if this hurts your feelings, if this is something you don't want to hear, if you think I have an ego, then be gone. Go elsewhere. Them's the facts, sweetheart. That's the reality. That's the harsh reality. The people who work informally in America are criminals, Dogzilla. They're criminals. And if I find out somebody working informally, I'll report them to the IRS. Because I pay taxes for my labor, and they should too. What was so out of line? I screwed up in the interview process and got denied. I woke up now. How are you going to screw? How can you screw up in the interview process? The only way you can screw up in the interview process is if you lie or you omit something important. That's the only way you can screw up. Jolis. So I'm not arguing with Jolis, but they're not even the same. And I've just admitted fully that I believe the Canadians probably working without a work permit. Yep. But they entered the country illegally. News 24 said they entered illegally. That's not true. Not true. Not true. What they did subsequent might be considered legal, but that's not what we're talking about. Khashoggi, stop crying. Exactly. You're just going to put yourself in a hole. Not stressed. I'm as calm as it. But I'm not going to USA. Just here for the news. All right. Uma Verstoffel. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. Exactly. Charles Van Olsen. Spot on. You said exactly what I just said. It's truth. Technique, practice of responding to an accusation, difficult question by making counter accusations. Well, exactly. Why doing? That's what people are doing. Okay. Sorry to get rid of unnecessary stuff. Cool. The one night the colonel doesn't have a drink. I mean, I don't have a drink every night, man. Mays, what was so out of line? Was it something I said? Yeah, common sense. It's not even a question if that was intended as an insult against USA. It was, yep. Okay, Joey, you're the only person in the household if I work, every cent goes to household. Got it, okay? Joey, okay, dude, I don't know. Are you an Afrikaner? Are you a Boer? Just asking, because they have a very wonderful phrase. It's a simple phrase. Een boer maakt een plan. So you make a plan, okay? All right. Have you tried creating a backup buddy program? May not work, but it's an option. There are lots of ways to raise money legally. Lots of ways. You don't know you're flying from Cape Town. You don't know you're flying from Joburg. You don't know you're even flying yet. Okay? So don't stress over something you don't have control over. You have no control over that. I have no control over it. You have no control over it. Khashoggi is freaking out over something that's not even worth freaking out over because she's worked herself up in a tiz. She's calmed down and stopped worrying about stuff. And why tonight? What I said tonight is no different than what I said yesterday, what I said last week, what I said last month, what I said in June, July, August. It's the same thing. Being a victim of crime is not a basis for refugee status. It's not. Unless it was consequence of your persecution for a particular group, race, religion, or something like that. It's as simple as that, guys. It's as simple as that. I've said it all along. It's not new. Why anybody should be upset about that now is confusing to me. Okay? The gentleman in the New York Times, the story that they published, if it's incomplete, then the New York Times misled us. I've allowed for that. I've said maybe they misled us because they have a narrative. They want a narrative. This is a racist program only for white people. Why can't the white guy get in? Maybe they didn't tell us the racial things that happened. And maybe racial things did happen to Mr. Schoonwinkel. But by his own admission, he sought to defraud the U.S. government. I mean, it's his own words. It's not my words. Let me get to that story. New York Times. Let me find that story again. New York Times. Okay. Let me read his own words, okay? All right. Mr. Schoonwinkel took Trump at his word. In September, he boarded a flight for Johannesburg to land. On arrival, he told U.S. border agents that he was seeking asylum. Okay? All right. But he didn't come through the refugee program. He'd chosen to travel on a tourist visa and seek asylum. I never expected this to happen. I expected a little bit of red tape. A little bit of red tape. So he had an expectation. He thought he could just get through. Okay? Let me find. When I saw President Trump brought some Afrikaners to the U.S., I contacted Ben. That's his friend Rick Taylor, a friend of Mr. Schoonwinkel's who had planned to receive him in Arkansas. So they had a plan. Rick Taylor was going to receive him in Arkansas. Who is Rick Taylor? Is he U.S. Immigration Authority? Did he contact U.S. Immigration? Doesn't sound like it. The two men had worked together for a large U.S. military contract in Afghanistan. I said, I think this is a good time for you to come over. Adding, Ben had the money and the means to get a good start and make it here. Oh, so that means you can just come over? Anybody has the money can come over? Well, I suppose you can pay for the golden ticket, you can, or the platinum ticket. He decided to come on his own rather than through the refugee program, which he said he did not understand to be a requirement. How could you not understand that? Trump said refugee program. He didn't say asylum. He had gotten advice suggesting the asylum claim would work in the same way the refugee program did. Gee, I wonder who gave him that information. I have no idea, but I have a suspicion we might know who gave him that information. Might be somebody that's attacking me all the time. But when he told the officers at the airport that he was seeking asylum, they detained him. Apparently for violating new federal protocol. No, it's not new. We're simply adhering to the law now. We weren't doing that. In another era, he would have not been taken into custody. Yeah, during the Biden regime's crooked administration, when they just let people flow across the border and gave them a court date. That's not how the law is written. Under Mr. Trump, people requesting asylum reports eventually are to be detained while their cases crawl through the immigration system. That's how the law is written. Mr. Taylor, his friend, said he was stunned by his friend's detention. We thought it was doing it the right way. Why would you think that? Mr. Rosenbluth, his attorney, says he had the right to make his case without being thrown into a hellhole. Well, no, he doesn't. That's not how it works. He claims the motivation by an executive order makes it clear he should not have been detained for a minute. He's probably the only Afrikaner in immigration detention. Probably. Anyone who claims asylum upon entry is subject to mandatory detention while the government investigates their claims, says Tricia McLaughlin. So why would anyone think that's anything different? If their claims are found to be valid, they'll be granted relief. If they're found to not be valid, they are swiftly removed. That's what happens. She said, Afrikaners continue to arrive in the United States. The refugee program after being strictly vetted. This man has not been vetted. Why should we allow him to run around the country? He's not been vetted. Why does he think he gets run around? Everyone else has to wait months on end. I mean, come on. Roberta says, many options, leave South Africa if you want. Maze. Afrikaner Alka. In the interview, be honest, stay calm, stick to facts, your own experience. Exactly. I've heard people anecdotally tell me reportedly several times, repeatedly now, that people are coaching each other with stories. Don't you dare do that. If you think you're clever and you can outwit U.S. immigration, don't do it. Oh, you might be clever enough to tell a fancy tale to get over here, but you're not done. They're not done with you. They find out the truth, they'll put your ass on a plane and send you back. Right back. No house, no car, no bank accounts, no nothing. Dump your ass into Cape Flats. That's what they'll do. Don't lie. Too many times I've heard it. Woodmead it was happening, and another location was happening. People claim that they overheard people coaching each other on what to say and getting their story straight. No. Those people are frauds. If you are genuinely persecuted, you don't have to coach anybody. If you're genuinely persecuted, you don't have to make up a story. You have a horrific story to tell of racial persecution or political persecution or religious persecution, whichever the case is. You don't need to make stuff up. Just tell the truth. And don't tell somebody else's story. Afrikaner outcry is correct. Hey, Fred. Been a while. How's it going? Well, Derek, the friend in Arkansas, supposedly is still sending him money for smokes and, airtime and stuff like that. Okay, so Scooby also did not enter illegally. He had a video. He should. You're not listening, Jealous Farms. Okay, why are you not listening? See, people hear what they want to hear. I'm going to say it again, calmly. I'm going to say it again. Yes, he did enter illegally. He entered the country illegally. The Kenyans went there on a tourist visa and applied for a work visa. It was denied initially. They appealed it. The appeal was sent to Kenya. Then the raid happened. Weeks after they sent it there. He went to a consular officer and lied. He defrauded the United States to get a visa to come as a tourist with a return ticket. Why are you not hearing this? I've said this several times in this broadcast. He defrauded the United States. His intention was to come and apply for asylum, not to come as a tourist. If he had told the immigration officer the truth, he would have been denied a visa. So he lied. That's a crime. If you think it's okay to lie, then I question your morals, whoever that may be. If you think it's appropriate to lie in this situation, it's not appropriate to lie. No one likes Q jumper, other people more dire circumstances. That's an email. Sent you an email for your honest opinion. Thanks. No, pot getters. I try to answer as best I can. Currently talking about us having PTSD. I realized this morning driving through informal settlements how bad it is. Yeah. No, I don't know what an Ubernoll is, but yeah, people you do. I mean, listen to Sigi. She's very upset now. There's no reason to be upset. Skoonvinkel is an opportunist. To board him, he's giving law-abiding citizens bad names, says Tokolos. He better hope he doesn't get sent to El Salvador. No, I don't think so. They won't. They'll send him back to South Africa if he gets denied. Dinky Sander says, thank you for your patience. Truly blessed to have someone like you to keep an eye on South Africa. Things have to take a turn for beautiful country. Colonization. Oh, we're not going to colonize South Africa. And thank you, Dinky. It's Dinky for Sender. Thank you. I've been accused of having an ego, being a personality and full of myself, simply for telling people the truth. Saw two men approaching my vehicle and got scared. They were, just crossing the road. Yeah, Karen, I get you. I get you. Is the heading of the stream about the ANC's ties with Iran during the time they were bombed? No, Rohan. The heading of the stream was to talk about the naval exercise, Operation Mosi 3. But we got onto this kick, because the internet was crap when I started. It looks like it's okay now. If you're not going to follow the correct process, you're going to find out the hard way. Went on his emotions. People don't stick to the facts, but they want you to believe they're just telling the truth without following the process. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I was raised with do not tell lies. My father always told us as a military man, if you lie, you can steal, and if you can steal, you can kill. So more of the story is not lie. I like that, Dorothy. Lie will come back to bite you. Tell the truth. If that man gets booted back, so he probably won't be able to. No, he won't be able to apply. Exactly. No, you're right. LD. If he gets sent back to South Africa, denied asylum, it depends on the circumstances. If they deny it based on the fact that he doesn't have a credible case, then he could probably apply. But if they deny it with prejudice because he defrauded the government, then he's in trouble. He worked in Afghanistan. Next piece on how to grow poppies. I don't know anything about that. But people are attacking me for saying I'm heartless to this guy and I'm attacking him. That's not true. They're hearing what they want to hear. I mean, let's go to the tape, man. Let's go to the tape. I've done 2 stories about this. This one is how long? This one's it's 2 hours. Oh, I'm on lives. I need to go to videos. I'm on lives. One mistake to change that west. Okay. Here you go. The refugee who risked everything. Good evening, folks. Welcome back. Chris in Central Pennsylvania. And I'm here to discuss the curious case of Benjamin Skoonvinkel, a South African who decided of his own volition to hop on a plane in Joburg, fly to Atlanta on a tourist visa, and request asylum. Now, I made a video analyzing. So what's mean about that? That's a statement of facts. In this, shortly after the New York Times disclosed this story publicly, about 15 hours before South African media got around to it. And I've had a couple of people who have taken exception to my comments, saying that I was a bit caustic or unfair to Mr. Skoonvinkel. Well, if you'd heard my genuine feelings, it would have been actually much harsher than what you heard. What you're sipping analysis. Right. If I actually shared my true feelings about what Mr. Skoonvinkel did and said how I really feel, then you could have accused me of being harsh and mean. Sigi, are you still here? Reach out to me. Okay? All right, send me a note, okay? Send me a note. This of the facts presented. Someone said, I don't know all the facts. I never claimed to know all the facts. What I claim to know is what was published in the New York Times story. Again, exactly what I said in the first video was 12 minutes long and what I said in this video. What was published in the New York Times story, which sounds like a bunch of poppycock. Okay, send me a note, okay? Do you have me on WhatsApp? I can't remember. If not, send me an email, okay? And I'll chat with you. We're going to calm you down, okay? And you can tell me what you told the immigration if you want, if we talk. And what's published in there is a bizarre tale of someone who jumped the queue, who claimed that March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 7 months after President Trump announced our refugee program, that he thought it was okay to just come to America and accept the invitation for Afrikaners. 7 months after the president. He had 7 months to learn about the program. 7 months. Oh, really? I can do that? Let me see. When the U.S. Embassy... Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's a lot faster. Website. Wow, that's cool. Thank you for that. I guess I thought because it was on a different screen it wouldn't work. Okay. Yeah, so he had 7 months. 7 months. He's 59 years old, not 19. Since the 10th of February, it's clearly stated who can come here, how they can come here, and it isn't just Afrikaners. Newsflash for South Africa's media and politicians. It's for Afrikaners and racial minorities. And the number of people come over include Afrikaners, white English-speaking South Africans, coloreds, Indians, and yes, even a few black South Africans have come over this program. Oh, shocker, is it not? Well, Mr. Schoonwinkel took it upon himself on very poor advice, apparently, from an American friend who worked with him in Afghanistan. Okay, so what's mean about that? I'm just reading what the New York Times article said. Put it in my own words. Nadine said, I'm glad that I helped you. Well, thank you, Nadine. I appreciate that. Durkin says, anyone who's been to the U.S. visa application interview knows you swear under oath and sign a declaration confirming your intentions for travel. If you can lie, you can steal as well. Exactly. Mish Devanagha says, my husband has recurring work visa due in February. We've been approved and completed the process, but no tickets yet. And the main applicant, can we continue as normal with him flying? I don't understand what you're asking. Can you what? You're saying, can you come over the H-2A visa? I'm not sure of the legal status of that. That's something you'd have to ask the consular service about. And that's something, I don't know how the process works with, you say, continuing or recurring. I don't know. Do they ever contact you about the visa, or is it just automatic? I don't have an answer for you on that. I suspect that if you've already been approved, you'll be here before his H-2A visa comes into effect, I suspect. Who said, well, you should come over. Just come on over. Why would anyone think that it's appropriate to simply get on a plane and come over and claim asylum? First off, people who arrive by port or at a port of entry who wish to claim asylum under U.S. law are supposed to be detained. Yeah, exactly. That's what the law says. That's what the U.S. government said. That's what I said. That's a fact. That's not mean. Okay, I think his friend had, okay. Colonel, did you see, I didn't see the post, but you're the second person, Reinhold Steenkamp, to mention that. Well, if Iran is in full-scale war with us and South Africa is participating in naval drills with Iran, that would, not legally, but almost by definition, make South Africa a state that seeks a state of war with the United States. But China and Russia are also there. So I don't think we'll see it that way. But yeah, dueling colonels. Who's the other colonel? Oh, me. And their situation addressed. You don't simply turn them loose, regardless of their basis for coming, if they claim asylum. If they're legitimate asylum seekers who are already in the country and then seek asylum because of something that happened back home, well, then they're not typically detained. But during the Biden regime, the United States government let millions of fraudulent asylum seekers into the country. Just let them show up on the border and say whatever they wanted and said, here's your court date, show up, and the vast majority never show up. And we have dozens, if not hundreds, of dead, raped, assaulted, murdered, robbed Americans around this country as a consequence of the actions of the Biden regime by these illegal aliens who fraudulently claimed asylum. And of course, we know that well over 90% of asylum cases are fraudulent. It's economic migration. In this case, I doubt Mr. Schoonwinkel was simply an economic migrant. But it's implausible to believe that a 59-year-old who's walked through life for nearly 6 decades, an adult who, according to the newspaper, was a farmer. You have to be smart to be a farmer, folks. I was a farmer. It's not a simple task. Being a farmer and being successful at it is a challenge. You have to understand agronomy, meteorology, finance, business, transportation, veterinary services, lots of things. Okay, so that wasn't mean. That was kind of a compliment. I said if he's a farmer, he must be a smart guy. Where's the mean stuff? Where's the mean-spirited stuff that everyone's talking about? Well, not everyone, a couple people. So it seems implausible that Mr. Schoonwinkel was not a smart individual, or that after having worked with the U.S. government for many, many years, according to someone who says he knew him, that he simply decided that it was a brilliant idea to hop on a plane and defraud the U.S. government, apply for a tourist visa, because he had the means to come here, and defraud us by coming here as an asylum seeker. If he wants to come to America, why didn't he apply for the refugee program? So what's mean about that? That's what he did. He defrauded the country. Yeah, so there's the email. Ronell has put the email up there, TGN, and also for Chesigi. There's the email. Send me an email, please, both of you. Also, the story that was reported in the New York Times, that story, is implausible too. He claims in 2014 he was attacked by 2 black men who tied him up on his farm and looted his farm. Now, I have no doubt believing that that's true. Could very well be the case. So I'm not calling him a liar. I'm not saying that his experience didn't happen. Where's the mean stuff? No doubt that he was, in fact, attacked on his farm by 2 black men. The vast majority of South Africa's population are black folks. Therefore, the vast majority of crimes, all things being equal, would be committed by black South Africans. And everyone would be a target, of course. So that's not in question. Yeah, I don't question that. But that isn't germane to asylum status or refugee status. But that's not a basis for an asylum claim, nor is it a basis for refugee status. What? No, it's not. Being a victim of crime is not a basis. I've told people this since February. It's not a... It's a video I did, 2 days ago? And now people get upset about it? I got 12 dislikes. You know what? I'm going to give myself a like on that one. A day ago. I did a day ago, but it's been almost 2 days ago now. A basis. You don't get to come to America because you were robbed or you were violated or you were shot or stabbed. That's not a basis for coming to America. People get robbed, violated, shot, and stabbed in America all the time. They don't get special status because... Thank you, Sloth Puppy. You just hit the nail on the head. First, I'm pandering to Afrikaners. My head's up the Afrikaners' backside, someone claimed. Now I'm being accused of being insensitive to them. Clearly bad faith critics trying to manufacture controversy, distract from the actual truth. Thank you, Sloth Puppy, for stating that. That's correct. That's exactly what's going on here. Yeah, it's just like they call me a racist, yet here I am helping black South Africans, and they ignore that. Oh, you only talk about white people. No, I don't. I talk about everybody in South Africa. Oh, you only say bad things about the ANC. No, I've said good things about the ANC. It's a problem. It's been a long time since they've done anything good for me to say. Yeah. Want to know if he could continue with his work, and when we are due to fly out, he can return to South to fly out with me. Okay, so he's here now, in America now. Did you not ask that question when you put the I'm a little confused, Mish Devanaga. You don't have to answer. You can send me an email. I'm a little confused about your situation. Did you not make them aware of that at the time? Or did they not know that? Don't answer in the chat. Don't answer in the chat. Just send me an email. No, Maze, the problem is it's all over the place, and these people actually believe the nonsense. They actually believe the nonsense. But I appreciate all the people who stand up for me in those other chats. You do so at a risk of being pillared by people. Anyway. That's it. Refugee status for people who are victims of unjust persecution. In this case, racial persecution. The story that is... Oh no, LDUSA, I'm not worried about what other people say. I'm just making sure the record is straight because people lie, so we're trying to get the facts out here. That's what this is all about. If I've got a problem with my exactly, damn if you don't. This is not a self-defense session. That's not what it is. Dogzilla raised something in the chat. I answered it. He was factually incorrect. A few people put things in the chat and said he didn't. The bottom line is the guy did break the law. He committed visa fraud. That's a law violation. Yep. Anyway, good night, LDUSA. I'm sorry all the snow melted. Aren't you in Utah? Reported in the New York Times doesn't meet that threshold. Not even close. I have many people contact me and say, oh, these horrible things have happened to me. And I have empathy for you. It is a terrible situation. These horrible things should never happen to anybody. But if that's what you tell the adjudicator, that's what you tell the people when you get interviewed, you're not coming to America. You're not coming. Being the victim of crimes is not the basis for coming over here. Otherwise, we'd have 63 million South Africans pouring in our doors. It's not going to happen. The one thing that Mr. Benjamin Schoenwinkel has accomplished is he's proven what I've said from the very outset. This is the important part. This is why I made the video. I waited till 5 minutes in, but this is the raison d'etre for making the video. Listen to what I say right here. That's why I made this video last night. This program is not a program targeted for white South Africans. While that may be a priority amongst those coming over, it's not solely for them. And it also throws doubt onto the lies told by South Africa's politicians and by its media and Western media that Donald Trump is favoring Afrikaners. Because it doesn't seem plausible. Here's an Afrikaner who showed up and wanted to stay in the country. And instead of welcoming him into the country, he was put in handcuffs and escorted off to the lump. Nadine, Dogzilla did make me upset. He did make me upset. Guys, you haven't seen me upset. I think I'm a passionate person. I care about what I'm doing. Now, when I'm leading people, I'm much more patient, but this isn't leading people. We're having conversations here. We're having political conversations, and I'm very passionate about politics, very passionate about right and wrong, very passionate about the right things happening. No, Dogzilla didn't irritate me. He hasn't irritated me. No, he didn't make me mad. No, trust me. You haven't seen me mad. You have not seen me mad. Some of the OGs have seen me mad. They know what I'm talking about. In detention facility eventually in Georgia. Not a fun place to be, apparently. So, If he's just welcoming Afrikaner farmers, which this guy apparently is, then he would have been welcomed with open arms. But in fact, this case proves that the media and politicians have been lying to you since February, as I've said all along. People don't believe their own eyes? Well, stay tuned. We'll have some folks for you on the program very soon who will look very different and a lot darker skinned than I am. So there you have it, folks. Do I have empathy for Mr. Schoonwinkel? Not a lot. Not a lot. I devoted thousands of hours this year to get this story to people. The U.S. Embassy website has published the standards since the 10th of February. They haven't changed, essentially. Whoever said he should come over as an asylum seeker? I didn't. Professor G didn't. Where did he get that cockamamie idea from? And why would he listen to someone who has no experience working with the government in the capacity that he needs information on? You tell me. Do you have empathy? Was I harsh? I don't think so. Some people just don't like the truth. Do you know why? Because they can't handle the truth. It's uncomfortable. By all appearances, based on what appears in the New York Times story, Mr. Benjamin Schoonwinkel took a shortcut. He attempted to jump the queue ahead of thousands of other people who were waiting patiently. And I don't think many of those people have any empathy for him. What say you, South Africa? Zanzi? Cheers. So, Jollis Farms, no, okay, first off, you thank you, but you make the mistake of assuming I was referring to you. None of my comments had anything to do with anything you said, other than answering your question earlier. Nothing. You're just saying, you're not saying heartless or harsh crime. I'm just trying to say that as Kenyans were deported, Schoonwinkel. Well, I agree. Mr. Schoonwinkel, based on the information, the New York Times article, which is what we have to go by, based on what his attorney said, who had the opportunity to tell the New York Times all the facts to get empathy from us, because that was the whole purpose of the story, was to get empathy and also to trash Trump's program. That was the whole purpose of the New York Times running the story. Based on that information, he would not win an asylum claim. He's a bachelor with no dependents. And okay, I don't understand. Miss Toast says, thanks, keep the truth coming. And thank you for the 14 Rand super chat. Hard time believing that there are people this stupid, Colonel. Sometimes feels like we're living in a recreation. Yeah, no. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the Truman Show. It really does feel that way. So first off, again, folks, emotion is involved here. Hey, Quids, thank you for your membership. Appreciate that. Been around a long time. Tomorrow's my birthday. Woo! Nadine, you're 36. Damn. Start chatting you up. I've endured many things in my life, from beating cancer twice to near fatal pedestrian accident, being a volunteer to Ocean's Aquarium. Wow, that is quite a journey at 36. I can say that I had many challenges before the age of 36, but none of those challenges. Yep. It's simple. Follow the rules. Well, I mean, what's even more simple, Furry Toes, is that this information has been available forever. And yes, people are going to say, but a lot of people don't even know about the program. But that's not what he said. He said he heard about the program. He knew about the program. And he just decided to do what he did. I don't know the movie Idiocracy, but that sounds interesting. Yeah, Jollis, that my comments weren't directed at you. The only thing was I answered your question. It was the only thing directed back at you. That was the only thing. So don't sweat it. If I'm answering your question, I'll address it. I make general statements. Guys, you just don't know how many messages. Okay, look, let me see. Let me just take a quick gander here. I have, it quits telling me how many messages. It says 99. 99 chats. It's thousands of chats here that I haven't answered here. And how many have come in since we started the program? Oh, only about 15 because it's late night. Okay. All right. Meanwhile, I'm trying to help refugees who are in trouble, trying to link people up with volunteer groups, doing interviews. Lots of cancers come from worms. I had no idea that was the case. Tokolosh says preference should be given to those who have families. Why? Why, Tokolosh? Why? Now I'm going to play devil's advocate. Why should preference be given to those who have families? Are their lives more important than someone else? Have they suffered more than someone else? Are they in graver danger? Those are the factors that should matter. That's what should matter. We had someone earlier today when I did the interview with the Stoltz family who was kind of rude. I'm like, most people didn't see the comment, but I deleted it because I saw it come up. And like leftist, liberal whites adopting blacks. This isn't right. We poor Afrikaners should be first. No, you shouldn't. Being poor shouldn't put you first. Being rich shouldn't put you first. Being brown shouldn't put you first. Being white shouldn't put you first. Being a victim of unjust racial persecution should put you in the queue. Exactly. Thank you, Conrad. That's what Schoonwinkel should have done. He should have come over, visited his friend, sought the advice of the immigration attorney. He had the means, and then found out that it was highly unlikely he was going to get it and go back to South Africa. 21. I know the volunteering started it, and you told us all about it. We're all excited about Two Oceans Aquarium. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was a bit racist too, Marceline. I thought so too. That's why I deleted the comment. The parasiting guy, I didn't know that. Huh. It's not about preference. Take a number and get in line. Yep. No, I'm not trying to be difficult with Tokolosh. I'm just asking. It's, people, it's like, and I had an interview the other day. Someone said, it's not fair that people with means come over. Really? So they should be slaughtered or murdered so that just poor people can come over? No, anyone who's a victim of persecution should qualify for it. That's what's lost on people. Some people seem to think that this is an immigration program. It's not. Others think it's a destination shopping. It's not. Others think it's a jobs program. It's not. Others think that only poor people are worthy of coming over. It's not. Nope. Right. No process clear. No preferences or money can or should assist your progress. Exactly. That has no bearing. If Rob Hersoff wants to claim this program, he could qualify for it. I don't think he's going to have a strong case because I don't think he's really can prove he's been a victim of racial persecution. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, but he could apply. If Gate McKenzie wanted to do it, he could do it. Matthew Fundamental. Well, I don't know, Matthew, but it's welcome to ask. You don't have to say humbly. You guys are very polite there. Matthew. Yes, I have. You sent it at 3:39 this afternoon. I was not online at 3:39. Received a confirmation. Ah. Okay. 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 Thank you, Matthew. I don't know any of those people. If any of them contacted me, I'm unaware of it or I don't recall. So thank you for telling me about that. I will send you a note with my number for WhatsApp, Matthew, and we'll chat. And I may be able to do something to help some of you. I can't help all, but we may be able to help some of you. Okay? Thank you, Matthew. You send it this afternoon. I'll see what I can do. Okay. I've done that, Marceline. I've had shows saying the difference between asylum and refugee. I also have videos on my channel that are still there, going back to February, explaining the difference between asylum and refugee status. I've done it. I've done it over and over and over again. It doesn't matter. Look at these streams lately. Today we had so many people I've never seen before in the chat when we had the interview going on. Never seen. People asking, look, they're not silly questions, but at some point they become annoying and silly for those of us who've gone through this for 10 months. Can you help me with my pets? No, I can't help with your pets. That's your responsibility. Pet Lift was trying. That's kind of stalled. And Project X claims to have shipped a couple pets over. We can tell you who they are, put you in touch with them. We can't help with your pets. That's your responsibility. We've only told people that since February 1,000 times. We do this over and over again. Go check out for us. Explains what well? Pets? All right, so Quids, I've also explained this. My answer to you still stands. The program is chaotic. It's poorly run. It's poorly led in my view. It's also understaffed. And they're going to have mistakes and errors. And they're going to get things out of order. Why do you think we had all this mess a couple months ago in October? Well, today you have to be in Pretoria. Your medical will be in Cape Town tomorrow. Guys, that's not a 5-minute drive. That's insane. We had that cock up going on for 3 weeks, causing undue stress and chaos for people. Hasiki was told to go somewhere else. Now she's all stressed out. Quits, I don't know what to tell you, other than I stand by my answer that the program is not run effectively in my view. But that's an outside view. I don't have all the information. Matthew, there's no reason to be humble. You're welcome to ask a question. Looking forward to your next interview with Werner Naomi. Well, it may come sooner than you realize. Oh, that was great. So I alluded to that in that video we just played. I alluded to that interview today. So what do we do today? Okay, let me explain something. Okay, today's interview was so powerful in so many ways. Let me tell you why. Okay, we addressed what if we have a different passport? We have a UK or a Germany passport or Ireland. Well, here's a family with a family member, the breadwinner, the male in the family, who has a European passport, a safe passage. But the rest of the family can't go there because of the laws. So it invalidates his family. She was a legitimate applicant. She applied as the primary applicant. And guess what? He can go to Europe at any time. He has an EU passport, but he's in America as a refugee. We've addressed that. We also addressed that it's not just white farmers. They're not even farmers. They are Afrikaners, and their kids are black. We also addressed the issue of adoption. They have adopted those kids. They brought those over. We also even raised the question of what if I have a child with a learning issue or mental health issue or something, because their child is autistic. So we did autism, safe passport, black, all of it, and not a farmer. All of those in one interview. Boom, 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 boom. All of that in one interview. That's why I'm so proud of the family for coming on. So proud of them coming on. And I didn't even know their one daughter was autistic until they mentioned they had to. There's, if you have autistic kids, sometimes you have to do certain things to keep them focused. We don't know if the program is a queue. Effectively, some interview get approved immediately. No, I've never seen someone get approved immediately. No, you can't be approved immediately. You can't. It has to be adjudicated. That's not possible, guy. You can't sit in an interview and you're approved. You don't walk out saying you're approved. That doesn't happen. If it's happening, then someone in the U.S. government is committing fraud. Your case must be reviewed and adjudicated. Can't happen immediately. It may be faster than others, but not immediately. Mom and I were told to go to Joburg, and we were told then that we were in Cape Town. In the end, we got the day of Cape Town. It came, went, and we both were successful, still waiting. Okay, Nadine, okay. Folks joining monthly, and a lot of them don't make the effort to look at previous content. Yep, exactly. Well, I'm not going to continue to repeat the same things. I'm not going to make videos over and over again. I've done that. Guys, I've done over 1,600 videos on this channel alone this year. Over 740 live streams or 720 live streams this year where I've talked about this from all over the world, from England, from the United States, from South Africa. The one child was chatting to them. Okay. 2 or 3 folks joined him. Okay. Yep. It was a fantastic interview. Well done. People must just listen to all your advice and be patient. Well, I agree, Paul de Klerk. Is Rohan still here? How's your daughter doing tonight, Rohan? We're just curious. Okay. Well, there's Rohan right there. I wonder about the Iran thing. Well, what do you wonder about it, man? The claim? Let's go see what Iran claims at war with USA. Okay. As far as I know, we've been at war forever. Iran president says country is in full-scale war with the U.S. and with Europe. With Europe. It's stupid to do it with the U.S., but with Europe too? Iran's president says country is in full-scale war with the U.S. Okay, well, that's not Iran. That's Zelensky. He's an idiot. If Israel and the U.S. were to attack Iran again, they would face a more decisive response, says Peshkinin. Yeah, okay. All right, buddy. President's remarks on Saturday came ahead of Israeli Prime Minister's meeting on Monday with President Trump. In my opinion, we're in a full-fledged war with America, Israel, and Europe. They do not want our country to stand on its feet. No, we don't want fascist theologians to run the country. Our dear military forces are doing their jobs with strength, and now in terms of equipment and manpower, despite all the problems we have, they are stronger than when they attacked. So if they want to attack, they will naturally. Of course, what Iran fails to note, report here is that a year prior to Israel attacking Iran, they launched hundreds of missiles at Israeli cities and murdered people a year prior. Most were knocked down by the Iron Dome. But remember that? See, they forget that. They launched the war. They started a war here. Good morning, Alice Talliard. Good evening. The interview was with a very complex family. They have like all the factors built in. They do, Rudolph. That's why it was so cool getting him. Yep. And they're coming up here. No, he doesn't know what war is. See, these are idiots that run their mouth that don't know what war is. Those of us who've been to war, this is not something we talk about lightly. Oh, she's doing better. Okay, cool. Our lives changed, but staying positive. Well, I mean, but her life has changed. She has a chance now. If you'd been in South Africa and that still wasn't diagnosed, you'd lose your child, Rohan. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be morose, but you're here. And you got the care you needed for her. And now you know what has to be done. It's going to be a lot of effort on your part, but that's what parents are for, right? Right? He controls the economy as the biggest mafia. He says it needs to happen in South Africa. No one touches Stellenbosch, therefore the place is still in order. Julie, I don't think Stellenbosch is all that great in order. It's a very dangerous place. No, the citizens of Iran don't want the government. You're right about that. You are right about that. Why did the DA say, including Iran, undermines our foreign policy of non-alignment? ANC clearly not following a non-alignment policy. What is DA smoking? Well, the DA is trying to become relevant. I think that's what's going on. They're trying to be relevant, and they're not relevant. That's the bottom line. They're simply not relevant. So here's that story. This is the one you're talking about. This is, oh, there it is. Okay. Whoops. Upcoming naval exercise, Russia undermines South Africa's foreign policy. Joint naval exercise with Iran and Russia due to take place early in the new year will undermine South Africa's foreign policy of non-alignment. The media confirms that Iranian naval vessels are en route to South Africa. Hang on a second here. With this, ever since they changed this version of WhatsApp for computers, it just doesn't work for beans. It just froze on me. Okay, I'm not asking. See many crickets. I have to send him an email. I was looking for someone. Okay. Anyway. Hope Iran isn't thinking they're strong with Southern backing. Yeah, no, they're not. Nadine has autism, was diagnosed. Gosh, Nadine, you've had a lot of challenges. A lot of challenges. Elna says, have a good day. Thank you for that. People still going on about Benjamin. No, I'm not talking about Benjamin. We haven't been talking about it for a while, man. What are you bringing it up for? I forgot 3 years ago. Syria's also on the brink of collapse. Looks like an attempted coup is underway. Yeah, no, Syria's a mess. The uprisings all over the country. So the media confirmations that Iranian naval vessels are en route to South Africa to participate in MOSI 3 alongside Russia, making it increasingly difficult for the government to maintain that South Africa is generally pursuing a policy of non-alignment, says defense spokesperson Chris Wyatt. Yep. The sleeps ANC, no difference. Yep, South Africa's stuffed. I don't disagree. A lot of people are desperate to get us out. I wish all those that do apply for FT program the best of luck, says Tokolosh. Okay. Facebook shows British ambassador calling for Crusaders war to get Islamic influence out. What British ambassador? Ambassador to where? Yep. The exercise is supposed to take place 6 to 9 January. It reflects a deliberate willingness to accept alignment with authoritarian states while hiding behind the language of non-alignment to avoid accountability. That it does. 100%. 100%. That is exactly what it does. But he's right. I'd love to interview him. Okay, what's going on here? Why? There we go. Speed test. Okay. South Africa's confused because the law is positive in the U.S. It's not South Africa. Yeah. Yeah, no, they're trying to claim they're sending an armada. It's just a couple ships. You were 100% correct about that. You were 100% correct about that. The 103rd Battle Fleet, the 141st Battle Fleet. What is that? You know, two tugboats and a battle cruiser. Yeah, no, it's just nonsense. The Iranians, we could sink their fleet in a matter of hours. All we have to do is send a wing of aircraft from Qatar over Iran and just, right over the Persian Gulf and sink everything. We could do Pearl Harbor to greater effect than the Iranian Navy, sink the entire Iranian Navy in a matter of hours. Yeah, we absolutely could. See, the Iranians don't have jets anchored off the American coast. We have jets anchored off the Iranian coast. We also have ships in the region from the 7th Fleet. Yeah, they might get jacked by the Somalis. You're right about that, Rohad. The Iranian ships might get taken over by the Somalis. My audio is becoming softer? I don't think so. It's probably me just talking softer. Let me see. Get taken over by the Somalis. That's not soft. My audio is becoming soft? That's not soft at all. No, it might just be the internet connection, which is pretty weak. Nadine's got to run. Going ready for the day. Okay. U.S. already sank the Iranian fleet a few years ago. Yeah, no, Blood Cup, you're right. People are confused. They're used to not having a law. They're used to being forced to pay bribes to get things done. Yep. Iran says Bondi Beach war was Israel and the USA. Oh, really? Really? Stupid people. True, Miss Toast. It does have more functioning ships than South Africa has. That's true. But the Annapolis Harbor with pleasure boats has more functioning boats than the South African Navy has, yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. So there you have it. The Iranians. Give me a break. Those guys kill me. Those guys kill me. So how are we doing here? We got 199 likes. Can we top that with some more, guys? Can we top that with some more? I don't remember. Now I feel like I did 10-something. A high up in naval South Africa said he was told by Kenya and Malaysia naval generals they intercepted drug boats on their way to South Africa. Elite naval force paddles expect to reach Durban by 2037. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I wouldn't lose any sleep over any of this stuff. People losing sleep over the Iranians, no, they're not. They're talking out their backside. They're not a serious threat that we need to worry about. Pentagon failed 8th consecutive audit. Doesn't surprise me, Holt. Do you have any idea how complex the Pentagon's budget is? Doesn't surprise me. I can tell you I passed my audits. When I ran programs, we passed our audits. U.S. Reserve Fleet, hundreds of ships docked. They most look like they're rusting away, but U.S. keep them in case. They're not rusting away. Maybe you've got an old photograph, or maybe it's maybe they are rusting recently. But Philadelphia has a bunch of the ships. We have, I think, 10,000 ships in the Reserve Fleet. Do you know who runs the Reserve Fleet? The U.S. Army. U.S. Army is the biggest Navy in the world. Did you know that? Oh, they're probably running each other, Dirk. You probably have Iranians slapping the Russian ships at sea. Yeah, it's going to be hilarious. It's going to be hilarious. 2.3 trillion what? Dollars? That's not the defense budget. That's, what are you talking about? 2.3 trillion what? Tanya Kamfer became a platoon leader. Thank you for that, Tanya. Wow. Bye donkey. Okay, let me take a look at where we're at on the channel, since that reminds me. Just analytics real quick. Yeah, the Brits have no Navy. They have no military. They're down to 50,000 troops or something like that. It's ridiculous. It's really slow. Let's take a look at this year where we're at for 2025, which is a very good year. Actually, let me compare 2024 to 2025. 2024, we had 1.9 million views. I limped along the entire year with 1.9 million views. And we only had 3 days with more than 50,000 views last year. Wow. And only 8 days with 25,000 views. That's how hard 2024. That's when I decided until December I probably wasn't going to do this much longer. I gained only 6,700 subscribers in all of 2024. But 2025, oh yes, from 1.9 million to 32.5 million in 1 year. 2.7 million hours watched, 98,800 subscribers. So we're going to be 1,200 short. Yep, it's 28, 29, 30, and 31. 3 more days. We're not going to get 1,200. We'd have to get 400 per day. Something big would have to break. Not going to happen. Again, there was no budget of 2.3 billion. The defense budget 24 years ago was closer to 500 billion. So I'm not sure what that is. That the aggregate amount? Rohan sees enough. Yep. Everything going on in this world is atrocious, and I hope for the best outcome for every honest person who's living rightly. Well, I'm with you, piece of heaven within. Okay. Good evening, Art Queen. What's going on? How you doing? Rumsfeld. Ugh, Rumsfeld. He was a piece of work. Yeah, Donald Rumsfeld. Donald Rumsfeld. The best performing day on a single day we've had was April 4th. We had 420,891 views on April 4th. Do you realize that? 420,000 views in one day. I have to go back and see what was going on that day. And then on May 21st, we had 327,000. Wow. It's been a good year on the channel. I want to say a great year. If you look at the channel, it's been a great year. But I don't think it's a great year yet. We got some work to do to make it a great year. So let's look at the last 28 days, see how we're doing. Because things were a little slow in December. Trying to launch a gap year program to get young people to do non-committal year. Yep. Pinky in the brain. All right, 2.6 million views in the last 28 days, 201,000 hours watched, 3,100 subscribers. So we were at 3 million views. We've dropped back a little bit now. We've got 8 of our top 10 videos had over 50,000 views, and the other 2 are just short of 50,000. One a couple hundred, the other by 1,100 for the top 10. Yep, that's YouTube is not. Caustic Chameleon's out of here. Well, okay, take care, man. Take care. Bye-bye. Anyway, time to go to work. Okay. Well, it's going to be time for me to go to bed here shortly. By the way, I fixed my Roku problem. You know how I fixed it? The Roku Ultra 4 that I have is 10 years old, or 8 years old at least. Guess how I fixed it? I bought a new one. Riffs Hard 70 Iran, thank you for the Clouds Gathering super chat. So the new one I got is the Roku Ultra. I plugged it in this afternoon, fired up immediately. The new remote is backlit. The old one doesn't backlight. The other one's 10 years old and it keeps hanging up. I couldn't get to the streaming store to add new apps to it. I couldn't. It would hang up on most things. This one is smooth, so I don't have to do a factory reset on the other one. I'll put it in another room with another TV and hold on to it. But yeah, my Roku worked like a charm. Started right up, and I paid $74 for it. The one that I replaced, I paid I think $100. I think it's $99 or $110 when I bought it 8 years ago. Now my money's worth a lot less because of Biden's inflation, so my money's worth about half as much. And I just got a new Roku with more capability, the most modern one, for $74. Hey, Chaos Juggler. Thank you again for taking on the plight of South Africans. Sent you an email just now. When you get a time, look at okay. Well, I'm looking to see if I got anything from... So actually, I got to get back to Matthew. I want to print this out because I need to address it. Okay, here we go. Print Matthew's email. Okay, so I don't forget about it. I can address it. Okay. Okay, I see your email. I don't see anything from Hasigi. There's some interesting surnames here, though. Interesting surnames. Thank you for the 140 rand super chat. That's awesome, man. We weren't seeing much in the way of super chats before Riffs Hard, then you came in there with 210 total. It's not man, it's ma'am. Sorry, Caustic Chameleon. How am I supposed to know that from your username? Or have I forgotten that and I knew it before? If so, my apologies. Hey, this is my A16, which replaced my A22. Much newer. I got in the UK. This was $199. I got it for $159 quid. And I got this cover and a screen protector for 10 quid. Look at that, man. Nice. It's my backup from that's my dual SIM card for travel, and now I use it as a hotspot. Yep. Cool stuff. Anyway, cool beans. So Chaos Juggler Caustic Chameleon is a lady. Okay. Love watching you to get the news from South Africa. Well, that's cool, Wouter. I'm glad you do. Also have to go. Need to get to the shops before holidaymakers invade our little village. We the permanent residents going early. Quick out. All right. Take care, Ingrid's Inspirations. Always a pleasure. Thank you all. By the way, everyone who's here tonight, thank you for joining the program. Really appreciate it. Let me play that song again in Afrikaans, and let me get your take on this, okay, guys? So we're going to do this. I'm going to play the one I think was the best. Okay. Where's it at? All right. So it was this one here. This is the second Afrikaans version. Thank you, Rainier Swanepoel, for subscribing. This one you can understand the lyrics. But I mean, it's pretty good, right? Yeah, 4 streams today, plus prepare video, which I haven't posted yet. Maar die veld word nou al kouer, die belofte raak maar dun. Ons verruil ons vryheid nog voor ons kan begin. En hulle hardloop na die Here en draai hul rug op die weste vir 'n ander plan. Van die Kaap na die Kremlin by China. Terwijl we want is
die ANC is besig terwyl die wêreld vinnig draai. Hulle hou van die eystervuis, die partylyn so streng, terwyl hulle ons na die bouvalle van die tempel bring. Hulle waap al die pad na Teheran, saam op die bandwagon, tot sins aan die reënboog met spookachtige ster. Ons hart loop al die pad na
All right, that one's a keeper. I like that one. Hey, Westhouse. Thank you for upgrading membership. And Bonnie Duplessis, thank you for the 40 Rand. Clouds are gathering. Yeah, Arctic's a busy guy, man. He flies. The Colonel cares. I do, Tokolosh. Oh, Charles. Man, it just keeps, 2025 is just keep on giving you, isn't it? Now you're cracking teeth, man. Oh, my goodness. That sucks. Oh, my goodness. Anyway. All right. Okay, guys, thank you for putting up with the crappy internet. It's midnight here on the East Coast. That's almost 2 hours we've been on. God bless. Thank you for working with me in the song. Suno was down for like an hour and a half earlier, so I finally got into it. They were saturated. Also, I found another AI generator, and I signed up for it, and it was saturated too. People must be making a lot of songs tonight. Soccer World Cup was how that most foreign players couldn't point to Africa on the map, including Africans. I was there. I watched a game in Loftus. On the East stand, Cameroon and Denmark. Denmark won the game. And then I also watched the game in Rustenburg, USA taking on Ghana. Yep. And Ghana won the game 1-0 because we had a terrible striker. Josie Altidore was a terrible striker. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with nobody standing next to the barn. Anyway, that was our striker. So there you go. I have not tried the jet fuel drink, Arctic. I have it in the refrigerator, the Coca-Cola flavor. The peach flavor, I'm going to have to stomach that. But the other one, yes. Thank you, Krista. And Miss Toast just gave a 14 Rand super chat. You guys take care. And hopefully this internet will clean itself up. I've got interview on Tuesday with Dr. Peter Hammond. And then also got Thursday with a refugee. Possibly something on Friday. And more stuff coming. All right, guys. Be well. God bless. And thanks. Appreciate you all being here. I really do. Don't know how many times I've told my audience I appreciate them. But it truly is the story. It is the story. I really do. And thank you who go on other channels and people run their mouth and lie about me. And thank you for setting the record straight. I appreciate you. Don't have to do that. I appreciate you do because you put your neck out there in front of these toads. So thank you very much. All right. Tanya Comfort just subscribed. Thank you for that, Tanya. Be well, folks. God bless and have a pleasant day. It's Monday, and this is the last week of 2025. Been a pretty cool year. Stressful year. Chesigi, if you're still here, please send me an email. Okay? Please send me an email. I don't see anything from you yet. You guys take care. Cheers, everybody. Good night.